The Rap Roundtable.
Yes, sir. The Rap Roundtable is back, bringing you episode 27. We know y'all deal with a lot. It's still a pandemic. People are at work. Kids are going back to school. But fellas, I gotta tell you, it's always good to be back in this happy place we call the studio.
It's a fact.
You already know the vibes.
Zone.
To my left, the Rap Roundtable's rap snob himself, Sincere.
What up, what up?
And the balance of the roundtable, Deanie, what's good?
Maintain it. May the force be with you.
I know a lot of you guys are used to hearing from Langston. He's been dealing with some personal things, so right now he's still with the team, but personal life comes ahead of podcasting as of right now.
Always.
So we're gonna keep carrying the ball until the homie Langston gets back. Now let's cook, bruh.
Shout Salim.
You know what I mean? Where's my favorite drop?
We are
Here it is.
tonight's entertainment.
Fellas, the prodigal son making news yet again. They're gonna start calling this the Kanye West podcast. Listen,
The Kanye West / Nas / Jay-Z.
oh yeah. Well, who better to talk about?
That's
you know
a
what I
fact.
mean? But word got out, and it wasn't accurate word, but word got out that Kanye West was the richest black man in the world or in America, 6.6 billion. The number dropped down to a more realistic figure of 1.1 billion, but nevertheless, Kanye West is now a billionaire. Sincere, I'm looking at you. This is your guy.
Of course.
Even with the tumultuous, I would say, 4-year period with Trump being the president and all the backlash Kanye got during this time frame, Kanye is up again. How do you feel about this? And he's free of the Kardashian curse on top of that. Gotta get that in there. Kanye's free.
See, you're saying he's free. You're saying he's out of the sunken place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure if that's true. But all in all,
Now this.
no, listen. All in all, when I compare or when I look at the whole big picture of Kanye's career, his trajectory, everything he's been through, everything he's done, I am legitimately happy for him that he's been able to reach this landmark financially, right? Not too many people reach this landmark. Far less black people, black men, black women reach this landmark. So to have a person of color, a black man, reach the Billie landmark along with Hove and along with I don't even know who else is a black.
I think Diddy's up there. I think
Diddy,
it's Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre
Oprah.
might not be there, but he's close.
He's close. He's
That
like
divorce
800,000
happens, it
so.
won't
You know
be.
what I mean? Here's the thing about Kanye is that I followed his career from the very beginning, where he came from. He came in with his own rules. He came in on his own terms. He turned the industry on its ear.
Yep.
Changed all the rules in terms of what popular music, what popular hip hop is supposed to sound like, what popular hip hop artists are supposed to look like. You know what I mean, and dress like. He changed the music game. He changed the sneaker game. He changed a lot of things, man. So shout out to him because he had the vision and he went for it, and now he's a billionaire.
He took the scenic route, but he's here now. Deanie, talk to me. What are your thoughts about Kanye making this news recently?
I mean, down 53, up 1.1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that much to say. Well, there's actually a lot to say. Who better? You know, in order to be a billionaire, you got to set some kind of trend. You got to start ground somewhere, bro.
Right.
You had to take over an industry somewhere, and Kanye has taken over, as Sin just said, and just put his foot on a lot of industries. To this day, man, Yeezy Gap hasn't even given us a product yet, and that's stock crazy. Just Yeezy brand in general, the music, now the gospel.
Yeah.
You know, Sin gave up on him for a little while.
He did.
Sin gave up, but I'm glad that...
What you mean for a little while? I'm
Nah,
still
you just wax poetic for 5 minutes about how great Kanye is, and you didn't give
Listen,
up
when
on
I'm
him.
looking at the big picture, but if he drops a project tomorrow, I'm not
It's a pretty
having
big
high
picture in your crib, bro. I'm just
not
saying.
having
If the
high
but see,
expectations for it.
there's so much room for, because if the music was fire, you'd be right back into
That's
the
a
game.
fact.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
So,
a fact.
so there's still hope.
Listen.
Before you said you were on cancellation.
I'm just here to say that Yeezy jumped over Jumpman. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, he did it,
He
man.
did it.
He did it.
You look outside, there's Yeezy footwear everywhere. Yeezy just jumped over Jumpman. He did that.
I'll never co-sign
He's
that.
out of the sunken place. You don't have to co-sign it, Sin. He's free. He's escaped. I just hope that Kim doesn't come in there and try to get half, you know, because she has her own empire. She doesn't need Kanye's money. Just get him for a little child support. Do the cultural thing, child support. Or matter of fact, co-parent. It doesn't even have to go to the courts. Kim Ye, it's dead. Kanye is up. The new album is gonna be amazing. Go and get Amber Rose, okay? I'm not letting that go. Go get Amber. She was your muse. You know, and I saw an idiot on Twitter the other day say that My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is not his best rap album. What do you say to that, Sin?
I see that all the time, man. Okay. And, you know, like, you just got to let people be wrong. That's it.
And it's always kids.
You can be wrong. It's fine to be wrong.
Mm-hmm. No.
The fuck
That's what I'll say to them. That's what I'll say to them.
The fuck are you talking about?
Do you think they mean rap? Do you think they mean as far as like
that's fine?
Probably rap aesthetic? Or
no, they saying that
hits?
it's not his best album. They were saying that College Dropout and Late Reg are better than My Beautiful Dark.
I see a lot of late registration.
No way though, bro.
Especially on Twitter.
I think that's what it is. It's because of the style of rapping he was rapping back in the days.
I know I'll catch flack for this, but I don't even think the first two albums are better than Graduation. But that's just me.
Graduation is a great album.
Graduation was one
Kanye
song
West
from
gave
Flawless
us a
Victory.
lot of great bodies of work, man.
Yeah.
But that's just the thing, though. Like I would like the albums are so good that you could have a conversation, you could have a debate, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? That album was fire, so I'm not even mad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kanye has the greatest discography in hip hop history. Is that am I wildin'?
It's not a bad take.
It's not a stretch. It's not a stretch.
A bad take.
Kendrick is getting there with each project, but album for album, give me a rapper with a better discography than Kanye. I dare you.
And the run.
Stop.
And the run.
Stop. That's what you're not gonna do tonight. This guy.
As far as rapping,
this guy. You know, I'm getting a lot of heat on social media for my Nas takes, and I'm trying to behave today, but Cinder's trying to draw me out early. Youngboy never broke again. I'm coming to you, Dini, because Sin don't give a fuck about this.
Not at all.
at all.
Youngboy never broke again, aka NBA Youngboy, getting caught up with the feds. Have you been able to keep up with this story at all?
I've caught a glimpse.
Okay.
One thing I do know for sure is that this kid has been in a lot of run-ins with the law. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As tends to happen in the game. But it just seems like every time disaster was there, he just somehow averted it.
Yeah.
Did a little stint there, a little stint there. You know, so see, I guess you never take it too serious.
Touché.
But after a while, the charges add up. The arrests add up. Supposedly they had this kid on foot. NBA Youngboy was booking it on people. Was booking it on them boys. Dogs chasing. That's the only way they could find them.
Sounds like a movie.
We quick.
That's
We're quick individuals, especially in those times. So
it's tough because this is not like local law enforcement.
The feds, bro.
The feds are essentially Babylon. Like once they get you, it's over with.
Once they get involved, there's definitely some groundwork. The case has been built. That's what I'm telling you. Maybe it was just a little thing here, a little thing there. Avoid this here and just wait till stack it up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying there's been a lot of Fed cases.
Oh yeah,
rappers, man. Casanova.
97%
Sheesh.
rate.
I mean, I'm feeling bad for Cass. I saw it on the internet that he's looking at significant jail time, and it's tough because it seems like it's a hip hop blitz by the federal government right now. I guess they seeing the money phones, they seeing the lucrative nature of the culture, and the fact that because of the internet era, guys are more inclined to stay in the hood because they want the vibe. They want to look the part. They don't want to be considered phony because you have to keep up with social media. You have to keep up appearances more than back in the day where you could say you was doing some shit, and even if no one knew you weren't doing it, who could prove it?
You see what he posted the other day as far as the telling people if you're not with me, SMD. You know what I'm saying? If you don't send me nothing, you don't look out for me, nothing like that. I'm like, it's like you said, like you're supposed to know the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when them situations finally clamp down, you just figure, the big homie should be able to got me because he got me, right? But it's a business.
Listen, man, once you get the bag, like I said on the last episode, once you get the bag in hip hop, you've essentially beat the game. You got out the hood, you got rich, you were able to get your moms out of the hood. Leave the hood alone. It doesn't make you any less of a man. I know the streets want you to continuously prove yourself, because when you get rich, you get soft or whatever it is. But maybe you need to be a part-time sidewalk nigga. You know what I'm saying? To keep that narrative going with the podcast. at some point you just have to understand that there's no good staying in the hood, bro.
If your whole entire image is based on the hood,
Yeah.
you know, staying out the hood too long. That's what happened with Meek. Staying out the hood too long. Everybody's questioning what's going on with Meek, you know?
Also, I've just on a personal note, like I've seen far too many people in my personal life, friends, acquaintances, whatever, that just they know what they know and that's all they know.
That's all they know. That's
You
a
know what I
fact.
mean? And like trying to take somebody out of a certain environment or a certain way of life when their brain has already been hardwired to think on those terms. It's super hard. You take them out, but it's still in there.
I talk about that all the time when it's all about what you see. Like, you know, when you a baby, right? Not to get too crazy off the rap, but a lot of times you pick up habits from your surroundings, your parents. So if you're in this surrounding and that's all you see, subconsciously that's all you're gonna be.
Or you know.
And then you're fighting against essentially yourself and your upbringing, trying to escape it. And it's easy for us, I know, at a podcast to say, yo, leave the hood alone because that's all you know. That's how you've been programmed. But bro, for as much programming as you have the news, you have social media, you know that the hood always takes it back. The hood is the ultimate tax man. Whatever it gives, it takes back. So once you get that bag, bro, and Youngboy never broke again, I understand you built your image this way, but you're not pussy if you leave the hood. And if someone tries you, you can show them what type of time you want. But go change your life. That's all I'm saying, fellas. I hate to keep seeing these notable characters in hip hop getting jammed up.
And dude is talented.
We just got Rowdy and Bobby back. Then we lost Cass. We about to lose Youngboy Never Broke Again. Who even if we don't listen to him, he's a big deal amongst the kids, and the kids still love hip hop. That's a loss for the culture, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
That work, man.
let's get back onto some more positive vibes. Cardi B, Bodak Yellow, made Billboard history. I believe she went diamond sitting. Is that what it was?
She
A
went
single?
diamond for the single, her first, you know, well, I mean, major single, her first major single, Bodak Yellow. Yeah, 10 milli. That's a big deal.
That's your girl, bro. Let's speak to it, son.
Man.
Wow, bro. That's crazy, bro.
I liked one verse from Cardi out, and I'll never.
You said you
hear
liked
the
her energy.
end
I'll never
of
forget it. It's her energy, bro. That's what you said.
It's a vibe, bro.
It's a vibe.
No, I definitely did not say vibe.
The man who
That
loves
is-
bars was telling us about energy. The fucking audacity.
Listen, bars need energy behind it.
What
They
bars,
don't.
though?
They don't.
Yeah, good bars.
She was talking that shit on that.
Yeah, she
What was that? Motorsport? Yeah.
Nah, Nicki got her on Motorsport, bro. She got her, bro. Stop.
Anyway,
You just don't like Nicki. That's all it is.
I don't like
verse, though.
Nicki.
You really, but Nicki's the rapper's rapper. She's
Nicki-
you should
Yeah,
like
but she
Nicki.
didn't.
now.
But she didn't stick to the rap aesthetic. She
Does anybody
went.
miss Nicki?
She
Do you
went,
hear Nicki when she do features? She's a rapper.
She
on
went
features.
full Barbie. She started doing shit like Starships.
You miss Nicki a little bit?
I miss
like,
Nicki.
You miss Nicki a little bit, Sin?
No.
Hip hop, even on the girl side, need the black hand to linger to let people know what type of time it is.
She had a great run.
Because she's the female GOAT, period.
Yeah, she had a great run.
Say, go ahead, and disagree. Go ahead.
As far as
Say
runs,
Nicki not the female GOAT.
Run's a beautiful run, man.
It's some good Migos.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nah, I never say Nicki's the female GOAT. I would never do that.
You would never say she's the female GOAT?
I mean,
Who's greater than her for women's hip hop?
For the total package of everything, though.
The totality
You gotta
is
count the
it's
sales,
her,
you
bro.
gotta count
But all right, hold on. First of
hits.
all, wait. We going off topic because we were supposed to be talking about.
No, we
Cardi.
gonna
But-
get
This
back
is a
there.
nice one. This is a nice
But-
reversal. We'll get back to it. What's one
But
back?
it's always gonna be quality over quantity for me.
So who's the GOAT?
Lauryn Hill.
Oh, for one joint?
Yes.
I mean, well, two joints because
Yes.
the score
I'm
was
Team
amazing.
Lauren, but nah, bro. No. It's Nicki.
She's too nice. Too nice.
I'd argue that Nicki did more for women's rap than Lauren ever did.
What do you say to that?
I mean,
That's hard to argue.
it's hard to argue. It's
bullshit.
hard to argue that. But I still put I put Kim over.
Son, stop.
And the way it's
Stop.
going, some people might
Stop,
say Cardi
bro.
B is doing that. How do you feel about that?
Listen,
What-
yeah, I
what-
feel attacked. What's going on here?
10
This is an
million, 10
interview.
million.
You feel attacked
What's
because you're not
going
being
on,
100
man?
right now.
10 million, bro.
Listen, I'm not a Nicki Minaj fan.
Okay.
She,
not a
she
big
You don't
got-
have to be a
she-
fan to
she-
acknowledge.
She's
All
done.
right. But what I'm saying is, her body of work went too pop and too mainstream too quickly,
Okay, that's fair.
right? And we're gonna have this conversation later on too. right? But the aesthetic that she went for was like, you know, Katy Perry and Lady Gaga, and she wanted to be that. She went straight there without really, as far as I'm concerned, without really paying enough attention to the hip hop culture.
Okay.
But wasn't that song a hit though? The song she did that was like that.
I mean, yeah.
So she could have
But
made more
she
songs like
took
that.
the Barbies with her. The Barbies are on the ride. You know,
But she never really left
You
the
don't have to
hip-hop
be a
part.
fan, but the Barbies follow where she goes. And when she decides to rap, you can't name too many rappers doing it better than her. She finishes all her features. She's bodying features
This is
still.
what I'll say. In terms of the mark that was made and left, Nicki made a huge mark.
Mm-hmm.
She made a huge mark. Probably a bigger mark than any female before.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Okay, applaud, Sin.
But I'm not.
proud of you.
I'm not gonna call it.
And been on more records with dudes.
Yeah.
You know,
Listen,
held her own with a lot of dudes.
Listen, Sin, you don't have to like it. But you're gonna sit down and look at it because it's the best going today. Shout out to Ric Flair. But back to Cardi.
Yeah.
How big of a deal is Bodak Yellow going diamond?
It's a big deal.
Big deal.
It's not as big of a deal as a whole album going diamond.
Right.
Shout out to Lauryn Hill.
Okay. Shout out to white people though, because the white girls love Bodak Yellow, bro.
You can't go diamond without.
That's a fact. Shout
White
out to
people
them.
loving it.
I'm bigging them up.
You
This
need
not
all
even. I'm not even
flavors.
trying to be funny.
Listen, at the end of the day, it's one way or another, it's a win for rap and hip hop. But you know, there's better people.
Deanie, talk to me. A BX legend, diamond single. She might be the only one from the Bronx to have a diamond anything.
Wow.
I'm talking about music-wise, not the jewels, like musically.
I'm like, God damn.
Yo, BX, don't come for me. I'm talking about music.
They're gonna pull out the ratchet
Because
on you,
I'm
bro.
thinking, I know
You know
Pun.
where we at.
I know Pun is up there, but I'm talking about statistically. She might be the only one to ever go diamond from the Bronx.
Jennifer
Got it.
Lopez, not diamond, but like,
I don't think J-Lo got nothing diamond, bro.
yeah, it's not too many.
Diamond in this climate is difficult too.
KRS never diamond
Hell
out.
no. No disrespect to KRS, but it was a different time.
It's
Yo, we gotta have a conversation about KRS at some point because
You can.
he's a little.
I'll definitely be a
I'll
part
listen.
of that. Boogie
Yeah.
Down Productions, let's go. Shout out to D Nice, Skylar Rock.
Yeah, no, shout out to the legend, but like he's a little delusional in terms of like he been talking a lot about like verses
He just won in, bro. That's
and that
all.
and that he could
Wants his
anybody
respect, man.
that he goes up against he's gonna destroy
You don't
him
feel
on
like
first.
he just wants in? He
I
just want
think-
his respect.
Yeah, but I also think he might
He's wildin'?
like conflating a versus battle with a real
Rap battle?
Rap battle.
Maybe
That's not,
maybe he's trying to figure out what cloud is in 2021. He's trying to play the cloud game.
perhaps.
Don't call him. You making it sound like he has dementia or something, bro. Have some respect for the legend. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Boogie
don't
Down
do that to
Legend.
me. How you get off? Where you get off doing that to me? Get out of here.
But as far as Cardi though, to close it out,
Get out of here.
man. Diamond anything is just impressive, man.
Uh-huh.
Whether you like the music or not, just that's a huge accomplishment, man. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Boogie Down Bronx for
Yeah,
being
nah, that's
part
a
of
big
that.
Yeah,
look.
you know what I mean? 10 million, you know.
10 million sold of anything. Or 10
anything.
million stream. Whatever the number was that got her to diamond, that's a big deal, bro. You know, I'm sorry that you felt the tax 10, but you know, we was talking a little hot about KRS-One. I had to stand for the man, you know what I mean? Shifting gears, let's get into some Benny the Butcher and Griselda talk. Recently, Plugs I Met 2 dropped. We spoke about it.
Yes.
Hell of a mixtape, hell of a
check that out.
project.
Go check that out
Shout
on
out to
YouTube.
Benny. Shout out to Harry Fraud. We spoke about it a little bit, where the consensus about the change in Benny's sound, his aesthetic, has ruffled some feathers. So because we have a little more time here with the big pod as opposed to doing a Zoom, Sin, have you heard any more brushback from people feeling like the sound of Plugs I Met 2 is not what they want from a Griselda project?
Yeah, I'll be plugging into Twitter just to see what people say, what the chat is, what the conversation is. I'm still hearing, you know, that he needs to get back with Derringer and Alchemist, which I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Like get back with. I'm sure their relationship is fine and they haven't left. I actually heard.
You know what get back with means.
Yeah, but I've actually heard that. But when people say get back with, it's like they left. Like
No,
they
get back with
they'll-
like that's all we want to hear from you.
like that,
basically.
like they're
Right.
never gonna work with them again. Like let people work with
Grow.
different people.
Gotta let
like,
people evolve.
If not just evolve, but also experiment a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, remember when Common experimented with Electric Circus? People wasn't feeling it, but
Right.
then he came back with beat.
I think that's what Nicki did with the super bass and all that.
Yeah, but she never came back.
She did. Chun-Li happened. What are you talking
That
about?
was one song.
No. There's a couple
One
joints that
song.
happened
Couple
after
of
that.
joints.
Yeah, they weren't good.
They were big.
Chun-Li
records.
was dope.
She
I like
was on
Chun-Li.
Hot Girl Summer.
But Cardi's energy. Anyway, back to Benny.
But yeah, I was hearing something that Benny and Freddie Gibbs is gonna get in the lab with Alchemist.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
That should make all
move.
you know, super
all
rap
you
nerds
lo-fi fans happy, right? You fucking jerks.
Now we got what we'll have the lo-fi conversation another time. But yeah, no, like Benny is evolving. Benny is experimenting with different producers. And you gotta let artists do that to see who they, sometimes you think, you're not gonna mesh with a certain producer or a certain other artist or whatever, and then lo and behold, like they make fire, right? And him and Harry Fraud, they made some heat, and some people, don't like it because it's not, not grimy enough and blah blah. But joint was sounding lush, and I feel like this is the right step for Benny the
Okay,
Butcher.
that's fair. I've been been at work, and I'm hearing this comparison heavily, Dini. They're saying he's going essentially the vibe, and when you feel his music, that Benny is going in the Rick Ross lane. Is that a fair assessment?
It sounds like it. It sounds like he's on his way to boss moves.
Touche.
But I feel like at the same time, because as the balance of the force, I got to see it from both ways.
Okay.
So, like for instance, The Weeknd. I was a big fan of The Weeknd. The Weeknd sounds nothing like what he used to sound like when I became a fan of The Weeknd.
That's a fact.
So a lot of people are afraid that once this person gets the popularity and the notoriety,
right,
they're gonna want to more conform to what the world wants to hear, other than what we love them for. We talked about this on the session. See, y'all gotta tap in and get them YouTube likes in, B.
Facts.
Tap in. We talked about this, and you don't want to lose your favorite artist. So I kind of see where these guys are coming from, but some of the greatest artists we had, everyone evolved. They had to grow into something,
All right, so let me be devil's advocate, Dini, because you're making a hell of a point. What if I say to these same fans that you were the fans that wanted to see Benny win? Now Benny's winning. Why are you complaining? What do you say to that?
The gift and the curse of success, bro.
Okay. Because I got a problem with that. You sat there, you watched Benny's journey, you got the mixtapes, you got the Griselda projects, you wanted to hear from Benny. You wanted Benny to get his just due. Because at one point, Benny was the underdog in Griselda. So you wanted him to be that guy. Now, you could say that with each project, he's pushing past. He's more popular than Conway right now.
I'd say so.
He's chasing down West Side Gun as far as popularity goes. Right now, I'd say he's carrying the Griselda baton right now.
Yeah.
This is what you wanted, right? So why complain now? Stay the course. I could see if Benny came out there and he made a getting jiggy with it and he was dancing. You know what I'm saying? I could understand that.
Shoulder shimmy.
Right.
That's what they're in fear.
The videos,
what they're in fear of.
The videos
Shiny
look
suits.
shiny suits. You know what I mean? Doing this in the video. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing any of that.
Could you imagine? Can you imagine Benny getting into the Kendrick type bag with the harmonizing sonic?
But this
vibes?
is what I'm saying. He's not doing any of that. All he did was change his beats. The bars are still there. The content is still there. The subject matter, in fact, has improved.
The lyrics.
Because the more he raps, the more he's taking you inside of his world. Before it was super linear. Now he has a panoramic view that he's giving his listeners. I'm like, yo, what do y'all want? You have, again, I said this
Everything.
on the YouTube. Make sure you tap into the YouTube. Stop playing with us. He's giving you a former drug dealer, former ex-con, who's suffering from success. He's getting everything he wanted, and he's not necessarily happy about it, and he's rapping about it. Is this not what we want from our favorite rappers? First-person perspectives?
You would think so.
Dope beats? What y'all want? Y'all just want him to rap on Derringer beats all the time? He wants. Matter of fact, shouldn't you want Benny to want to be bigger than what he is? Because Benny clearly wants it.
To play devil's advocate, to your devil's advocate.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Let's work.
I mean, people are saying that the Harry Fraud beats aren't that dope.
Oh,
So it's all. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all a matter of preference.
touche.
But I mean, I feel like they're saying that they're not dope just because they're not Alchemist and Derringer beats.
Right.
Right.
So the producer at the table that you are with this hot ass beat playing, this beat is fire as fuck.
Indeed.
I'm part of my French. I'm trying to curse less, but sometimes it's necessary.
Bopping the
What
whole
do
app.
you think, as the producer at the round table, about what Harry Fraud did on that project?
I think he did a hell of a job.
Okay.
Because like I mentioned in the little YouTube check-in, again, go check that out.
Shameless.
I'm not a huge fan of Harry Fraud, right? But what he did was he created soundscapes that were like tailor-made for Benny the Butcher, like to get his visions off, to be able to paint, you know, the pictures that he paints with his lyrics. I think that his choice of sampling was dope. I think his drums were dope. I think the way they were sequenced was dope. I thought the mixing was dope.
Yeah.
Everything about it was like, you know, I'm not gonna say perfect, but it was a good
hitting.
4 out of 5. You know what I mean?
I would say this was the.
But just because it wasn't like, you know, super like very like these plotting beats that like, you know, that are
Darkness.
slow and ominous,
Yeah.
and just because it wasn't that, it had like a little feel of like a little opulence to it.
Right.
Right? Now you're gonna say, oh, Benny's switching up his style and he's, you know, wants to be like a super like glitzy rap. No, he's still telling you the same tales.
Exactly.
It's just the beats are a little more elevated, a little more, you know.
So here's what I'll say to that. I would say that, like I said on the YouTube, we're gonna keep plugging it. Go check it out.
Check it out. The Rap Roundtable.
This Plugs I Met 2 was the natural progression from Burden of Proof. Like he couldn't go backwards acoustically with the sounds after that. He had to keep going forward because he probably got new fans after that.
Yeah.
So Plugs I Met 2 might be Plugs I Met 1 for the new fan. You know what I mean? But what if I say this and I ask the both of you? If he didn't name it Plugs I Met 2 and he just gave it a different name, would it be received better considering the history of Plugs I Met 1?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you set it up to, you know, for the comparison with the, you know, the part 2 for the Plugs I Met, and the Plugs I Met was all Derringer and Alchemist, so it stands to figure. But yeah, go ahead.
But if you look at the artwork, maybe he's telling the story like as if he was Scarface. You get it? Like if he was the work on the boat.
Right.
Now he's the muscle. You know, now slowly but surely, he's the boss. Now he's the kingpin. Now he's running the empire. You know what I'm saying? Maybe these are chapters in a book he's giving us.
Think about it. Think about the artwork for Plugs I Met 1. Now, Plugs I Met 2, he's shaking hands with Sosa. We know what happened to Tony when he shook hands with Sosa. His world changed. The money kept rolling in. Maybe Jay-Z is the Sosa, supposedly. He's made these big-time friends now. My world is changing.
Right.
I'm getting real money out here.
The world is yours.
The world is mine. To that, I ask you guys now. Since the world is his oyster, is the throne in his purview now? Can he get there?
It's tough. It's tough in 2021 to look at somebody like Benny and say he could get to it, because who got the throne now is Drake.
Yeah.
When you
And
say
then-
throne,
and then-
you mean like the bar
Number
throne?
one rapper.
Because we got Pusha up there as in the bar throne.
But think about it. If
Nah,
Benny's
but-
changing his sound, it's obvious that he's aiming at somebody. Not to beef, but notoriety wise. He's going for it, in my opinion. Go ahead.
So
sir.
like you know, Drake. I mean, you know, this is not my opinion.
Okay.
This is not
Let's get
my
that out
preference. But who is running the rap game? Drake. Yo, a little sidebar. Because I just thought about it, and I was thinking about this a couple days ago. I tweeted a few years ago. I was like, I think Drake's run is done. I think we're exiting the Drake era
I don't
and
know
going
about that.
into a
When
new
you say,
era.
When you say run, you mean rap or musically?
I just
Top of the food chain?
I just mean like his presence in the game. I
Bro,
just mean
dude,
like his seat.
He dropped a 3-pack and it sold 1 million in a week.
Listen, and so this was like a few years ago. I don't know.
Gold singles, bro.
For whatever reason, I was like, yo, I think like we might be exiting the Drake era. He's got had a good 10-year run, whatever. The boy's still here, bro. And it's not like, I'm not a Drake fan by any stretch, but his presence in the game, because he covers every market, right? This is why we love Biggie and Jay-Z, and why Nas sometimes has his detractors, because Nas didn't cover as many markets.
Put the gun down,
as,
Sen. Put the gun down.
No, I'm just speaking facts.
Now you attacking me.
No, not at all. Not at
Okay.
all. But I am looking at you. Nas has his detractors because he didn't cover as many markets. Big covered, every market. Hove covered every market. Drake covered even more markets than them.
It's a different kind of every market, though.
Drake had the audacity to go and make grime music.
market.
He wanted to get England.
But that's what I'm saying.
The Walmart of music, bro.
Yeah,
Everything's
talk about it.
there.
And so bringing it back to Benny, it's really hard to say, hey, Benny is next up to take that spot, because he hasn't given me. I haven't really heard like a chick song from him. I've heard him talk about chicks. But
it's coming.
Always, but nothing. He doesn't have anything in his discography yet that somebody would turn on in the club and be like, "Yo,
All right, Sen. So boom. Now I'm going even further with the devil's advocacy. That song with 2 Chainz, Plug Talk. I think that is the song that upsets people the most, because that is the clear and definite song where you see he's trying to get on the radio. That is a radio song. People are upset about that.
Yeah, and that shit is a bop.
It is a bop.
That shit is a bop,
It's
bro.
a bop. I love it. And I don't even care about 2 Chainz. Y'all know how I feel about him, bro. But
First half of the verse.
does that now make fans? Yeah.
First half.
The whole verse is kind of like I said
Second
on the
half is
YouTube,
teased
that
Tap in.
it's difficult for certain rappers to stand next to Benny because of how good he is. 2 Chainz kind of suffered from that, but for the kind of beat it was, he didn't sound out of place. You know what I mean? But can't you say that certain fans are now right in their concerns about Benny with that particular song, Plug Talk with 2 Chainz?
But
We got to play both sides here.
I mean, I don't know, because I feel here's the thing. I remember hearing or reading somewhere that Benny was looking to do a collab with Drake, and at that very point, I was like, "Oh,
You knew
this
what
guy,
it was.
this guy is going for,
going
for it all. He's shooting for the fences, this is what it is, right?" And so from there on, I was like, "Oh, I know he's gonna." I saw the moves that he was gonna make from there on out.
Could you imagine if Ross wasn't on the last record on the 3-pack and that was Benny instead? How would that work?
Big.
Yeah.
Big. Because Benny would have showed up in a way that Fabio didn't show up on Dark Lane's demo tape. Benny would have walked out when he got next to Drake. Honestly.
But even on Burden of Proof, he had certain features that was
Now he had more rappers on Burden of Proof, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean he had Ross though.
Yeah, Ross is a rapper.
Right, but again, looking at it from the purest backpacker underground head perspective,
it's not Rock Marciano. I get what you're saying.
Exactly.
I get what you're saying.
It's not Black Thought. It's not 38 Special.
Not for nothing. I'm saying it right now. I'm speaking it into existence. I need a whole remix of Plug Talk. Hove on that beat, I'd lose my mind. I might crash my car, bro, because that beat, that bop with the way Hove is choosing to flow these days, he's gonna spaz on that.
Replacing 2 Chainz.
I know you watch
Chainz.
this podcast. I don't care if you don't, but I know you do. Plug Talk remix. Get on that. I need it. I don't care about the rest of these guys. Me, I need that. Plug Talk remix. So I guess we could put a bow in it and say that I would say Benny fans, don't be worried. I think Benny's always gonna give you the content that we need, even if the beats are different. What is your bow on this topic?
You know what I'm looking at Benny to fill a certain lane in the mainstream.
Could he be
maybe
a better
not
push?
the top. Maybe that Pusha lane, maybe the Meek Mill lane that he fumbled the bag on. Maybe
That's
I
kind of
don't
tough
know.
to say because Pusha had a nice with the clips. That was a nice party run, bro.
But Benny, if Benny keep picking
But give
beats,
him
how he's
time,
picking
though.
beats.
Pharrell beats though.
Give him time, bro. Give him time.
Benny's not.
Benny on a Pharrell beat that might be
Pusha's really high on my
Bro,
list, bro.
You know how I feel about Pusha, but I think that what's gonna separate the two of them, I don't think Benny is as dark or ominous as Pusha. he's giving you those hood tales, but it's not nearly as dark as what Push is doing, bro. Like you might eventually you're gonna be able to dance to a Benny record.
They need an album together.
Now, what I also wanted to add,
I lose my mind. I get an aneurysm. It's too much bars.
Before we
fact.
slide on, what we think the album should be called?
Bricks. It's called a brick. Brick by brick.
right brick on my brick.
Yes. Yes. Right brick on my brick. There it is.
Brick on my
Pay us.
brick.
Now we giving you content. We do everything
Push
at the
it
Rap
all
Round
at us.
Table.
The
We got a
Rap Round
producer. We create content. We giving the A&Rs their jobs for free. Come on, son.
But
Easy work.
what I was gonna say, also add is like beyond Drake, the other two like still
Titans?
the other two Titans who still their presence is felt even though they haven't dropped music in a while. The Kendrick presence is still felt. The J. Cole presence presence is still felt. And those are two conscious artists.
Yeah.
Would Benny give us any like, you know, any of that any Black Lives Matter?
I think all these bars are conscious.
anything.
I think it's
In a
just
sense,
it's
gave
from a
it to
different
us.
point of view.
different perspective. Yeah. You know, that's what they say about Hov sometimes.
Yeah.
You say, you know, he's not conscious. But
He reminds me of Hov a lot. With the way he raps about what he raps about.
Right.
Prom Hov.
right.
Yeah.
The angle that he takes with the stories that he gives you is very, very Jay-Z.
It's not as clever or witty as Hov, but
Right.
it's the same.
Vivid, though.
It's the same first person point of view.
Yeah.
You know, he got to go a little negative here. Fat Joe was on the Benny project.
Yeah.
Joey.
He had a bar about the Wuhan virus, coronavirus, COVID-19, etc. He had a little pushback against that. But when I heard the bar, it wasn't anything to me. I don't understand why people are really bent out of shape about the bar. It was just a metaphor. It wasn't even nothing crazy. He didn't do China virus like the former president or anything of these things of this nature. So is it just like sensitivity to the topic that people are wilding or mad at Fat Joe that he has to put out a response or an apology? Dini, what do you think?
This is the new world. Like years ago, you wouldn't have to do this, you know. But nowadays, you basically have a chance to offend anybody. Then you got to go on the apology and tour and everything. But I thought it was a clever bar. You know, maybe a little insensitive at the time, during the time.
Right.
But you know, trying to be relative with the times. But it is what it is, you know.
I'm conflicted on this. On the one hand, if this was, I don't know, 15 years ago, right? Before the social media era, that bar would have come and gone. Nobody would have batted an eye, even if the climate was what it is now. But you know, the internet being what it is and everything traveling at light speed through social media, you know, a little project from Benny can drop on a Friday, and then by Saturday, Sunday, everybody's like, did you hear that he said Wuhan virus in this one line? So I get that aspect of it. And
I can't believe he would say that.
And I think I think that's why you know, Deanie feels, you know, somebody like Deanie or Deanie himself feels the way that they feel is because everybody is hyper vigilant. And because the internet just allows everything to just travel to all corners of the world, everybody is going to see this one thing and be like, no, we this is not good. We have to do better, right? And then on the other hand, I think we do have to do better, right? Because the climate around attacks against Asian Americans at the moment, right? We should show a little sensitivity towards that and not, you know, use language that might, you know, perpetuate that, right? Now, according to Joe, though, from his response, he recorded that a year ago.
Oh,
right? And so he says it's an older verse that he recorded early on when apparently, by his words, the media was still using the term Wuhan virus. And so that would be understandable. I personally, I don't remember hearing that term in the media.
He's right.
Okay.
Before it became the coronavirus, when it was still in China,
Right.
or on the Eastern Hemisphere, to be politically correct, they were calling it the Wuhan virus. This was well before it was a pandemic. It was
Copy.
the Wuhan virus.
Copy.
You know what I mean?
Back in like December.
The first I started like
2019.
Well, no, I started hearing the term coronavirus. That's when it like locked into my.
Yeah. When I first heard it, it was, you know how they do those passing reports? Yeah, we know the Wuhan, the novel, whatever they were calling it.
Yeah.
It went from Wuhan to novel coronavirus to like COVID-19.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was
so there was a lot of name
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
So
I guess I'll say, fellas, this is where I guess we are getting concerned about the new world and hip hop's place. When we fell in love with hip hop, it was definitely not in the forefront. I would say hip hop was a niche that you can take as far as you could possibly take it, depending on the artist. I will say now that hip hop is number one, and because of its place in pop culture, rappers can't get away with the things that they could get away with lyrically. We saw what happened with Meek and the Kobe bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're a rapper of a certain notoriety, you just can't say certain things, even if it's not that serious. And frankly, I hate it. I'm not a fan of politically correct culture trying to infiltrate hip hop and tell rappers what they can and what they can't say. Why? Because hip hop at its core, it's rap, I should say, not hip hop. Hip hop is the culture. Rap is the genre. Rap at its core is still an art. It's still essentially poetry. And if I want to get this bar off, I should be able to get this bar off. Especially if I'm not making light of, in Fat Joe's case, the Wuhan virus. It really was just whatever, like the Wuhan virus. It wasn't nothing light. It wasn't nothing making fun of it. It wasn't anything racial. It wasn't anything questionable about the bar. So I'm not okay with PC culture feeling like if you just say anything about whatever that doesn't seem like it's right, you could just tell this guy he has to apologize. That's BS to me.
I think also here's I think there's another gripe too. I don't think it's a gripe to the people itself, but it's a gripe to like me as a listener. Like if y'all gonna use like sensitive bars, like the bar gotta at least be like uber fire. Like nah, like for real, like the Kobe bar for Meek was insensitive because it wasn't even a clever bar.
Right. If it was fire,
Like,
we would have let it ride.
go. Like if it's gonna be clever, well, we can at least understand some of the insensitivity if the bar is actually a dope bar. But if the bar's whack and it's insensitive, like they're on your ass. Like that's
and
It is what it is.
This leads to a much larger conversation that at some point we should have here, but just as a society we need to have and come to a consensus is what is the balance that we should strike between like good or excellent art and things that are insensitive,
Right.
or things that may be racist, sexist, misogynist, whatever. Like we have to have that conversation because like I've definitely seen people talk on Twitter about Dr. Dre, right, and his history because of D Barnes, the D Barnes situation back in the day where we slapped D Barnes. That was well documented. And now because of the the divorce and all the stories coming out of that, are they divorced or are they?
I think it's still in the process.
They're not officially divorced.
So soon to be ex-wife has
So much for that Billie.
right has said that he's been abusive towards her, right?
That's been a couple of claims. I think wasn't Michelet said the same thing.
Michelet back in the day also, right?
Unfortunately, yeah.
And so we kind of have to have this conversation as a society in terms of like how much incredible art are we willing to give up and cancel, right? Just because they did some they made some indiscretionary moves, right? When you say something like, the bar should at least be hot, so that means that if the bar was hot, we would look the other way on
Bare
it.
minimum. It's
Right.
At least you have some leeway. You get what I'm saying?
Right. And so what a lot of people say is that there shouldn't be a leeway about it. Like it's like
No matter what.
If you say something, it doesn't matter if the art that came of it is good or not, we should not accept that, right? I told my girl, because we was having this conversation the other day, I was like, yo, you're gonna have to pry Dr. Dre's music out of my cold dead hands. I'm never giving that shit up,
But-
ever in life.
So let me ask you this then, bro. Would you say that there's no room for PC or cancel culture in hip hop?
We
Get on this live, dude.
Listen, PC culture and cancel culture. It's hard to say because just with everything, we have to be able to draw a line somewhere, right? But where do we draw that line? Because either we accept certain things in the name of artistic expression, right? Or we don't, and then we just have to cancel everything. I was saying this too to my girl. I was like, it feels like, and mind you, I'm very sensitive. At this table, it's well documented. I am sensitive to all things that are against racism, against sexism, misogyny, everything. I'm not like this guy over here.
Do you need a misogynist?
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Right, I understand all of that. I see things from the other perspective. But in terms of art, how much art are we gonna end up erasing if we just keep going down this road, right? Because one day it's gonna be, the Fat Joe. Another day is gonna be Dr. Dre. Another day is gonna be Stanley Kubrick, right? Who made some of the best films ever in history. We're just gonna keep going down the line and and find all these skeletons in people's closets and be like, yo, we can't accept this. We have to erase all of their. We're gonna be left with no art, bro. It's crazy.
So you feel like the people have too much power right now? Because I you know what? I put it this way. I do like the gray area, and I feel like people have too much of a say.
No pun intended.
And 75 pun intended in this case. And 75% of the time, I feel like the general public is too ridiculous in their point of views. And I feel like Fat Joe and that bar is a perfect example of the public having too much of a say because he didn't do anything wrong. So I can't say Wuhan virus in a bar at all. That's essentially what you're telling me.
Well, here's the thing, and this is where I understand it. The project, the Benny project, dropped right after the situation with the Asian Americans, the guy that went and shot up massage parlors.
Yep.
And it was heavy in the news, right?
But what does that have to do with the Wuhan virus?
Because it's adjacent to what Donald Trump was saying, where he was calling it the China virus, right?
Oh.
So it evokes that sort of
So you think this is like residual effects of what Trump was doing as president?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I said. Now we're getting somewhere. So essentially, the Asian hate or the Stop Asian Hate is all part of the blowback from the former president, essentially greenlighting Asian people in America because of coronavirus.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
That is one way to look at it.
Fat Joe,
definitely.
it wasn't your fault, bro. You never had a chance in that regard. You know what I mean?
But again, if the verse is a year old, then obviously, that's the term that was used at the time. And that's another thing. It's if we look at, art from 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, I was just watching the Chappelle show just yesterday.
Reckless.
I was like, bro, when I watch South Park, when I watch Family Guy,
wild.
Out of line.
bro.
It's wild, bro.
Hey, are we gonna end up erasing all of this? We have to come to some sort of consensus as a society where it's all right, we're gonna let this pass. But if you say it
Especially in
again,
hip-hop, bro.
if you say it again, then it's gonna be a problem. Now that you know, don't do it again.
So,
that should be the rule.
So let me ask you this, so we could put a bow on the topic. Because of hip hop's popularity, have the rules of engagement changed with what rappers can and can't say? Sin, I'll start with you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Okay.
not. I mean, it's not back in the day where it was just our thing. Now it's everybody's thing. It's out there, and you know
it's
everybody
corporate.
wanted it to be out there.
It's corporate.
Okay.
So now that it's corporate, it's not just your opinion on it alone now. Now the free world's opinions on it, and now that's the price you pay when you get money involved. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this then. I'm sorry to continue this topic, but this is a hell of a topic. This is important. Are rappers prepared for this kind of responsibility?
No.
No, because like, and I see this from you know, from this perspective of, you know, being a person of color, right? Not black, but you know, and being a fan of hip hop and the story of hip hop. It's like, all right, you're gonna come at me. There's a whole I would have to get in line for you to come at me for something that I said or did. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole slew. Like, go after the Klan. Go after like white supremacists. Go after the governor of Georgia who just had this lady arrested just for knocking on his door. I'm gonna have to get in line. I'm just trying to make my little raps over here, right? Like, don't come at me. There's a whole slew of people to go after before you get to me. I don't even really have no power.
This is true, because when we talk about the rapper and the relationship with the label, that's a whole other can of worms. And the label is not gonna put their body in front of the rapper unless you're a J. Cole, Kendrick, or Drake. It is what it is. But let's make Sincere happy now. Let's shift gears a little bit. Let's move away. Let's move away from the politics and get into some Nas talk. You know,
Yes.
We know how y'all love Nas talk at the Rap Roundtable. This guy, bro, he's killing me right now. Pause. Apparently during the verses, one of the members of the Wu-Tang Clan, I don't know if it was RZA or Ghostface, said that Nas is rap's chosen one. Is that accurate? Is that it was it Ray or Ghost who said that?
I honestly don't even remember. I think it was Ghost.
You don't even care.
I don't care who said it. They're right. It's facts. I don't care who said
One of
it.
the gods said it.
Wow, bro. That's crazy, bro.
So you know what? I'm gonna give Sincere the full ISO here to get his shit off. Is Nas rap's chosen one?
Listen, first of all, shouts to Godson, Esco, Nasir Jones. Illmatic was just inducted into the Library of Congress. Major acknowledgement, right? For those of you that don't know, the Library of Congress has a national recording registry, and since about 2002, I think, they've been inducting different bodies of work that they feel are important to not just music, but American culture as a whole, right? Your boy Nas, my boy Nas, had Illmatic inducted into the Library of Congress's registry, right? So just off of that, let's just acknowledge that. Let's celebrate that. Shout out to hip hop. Shout out to Nas. Shout out to Illmatic. Shout out to Queensbridge, Lil Boy
Escobar
from
season.
Queensbridge, New York. You know, to come this far and to get that sort of an acknowledgement in American culture, super major, right? Now, you have something to say, man?
Nah, go ahead.
You got some words to add?
I'm just having some egos,
Nah,
bro.
because I heard some
Bit of the Migos.
I heard some sounds
little bit
from
of the
coming from the from my right side. I felt some hot breath.
Hey, yo. Yo, where Chill's at, bro? Hey, yo.
Now, as far as him being the chosen one, like, and I think this stems also from the old
Golden
the
Child.
old source, right? The old source article that our boy Mace shared in the group,
out to
the
Mace.
Facebook group, where they called him the chosen one, right? That was like the headline, right? The thing about Nas is that when he came in the game and dropped Illmatic, it was such a major landmark album that it was just kind of inherent that he would be labeled that because everybody was just so impressed. Now it didn't lead to commercial success because the general public's not always up on who's the best and what the best bodies of work are and what the best art is, right? They usually like things that's more, served on a platter to them. They don't, they don't do the homework. But yeah. So after Illmatic came out, he was deemed the golden child, the chosen one.
Is he?
Hold on.
You giving us this long ass story, Sin.
Hold on.
He was born on December 2nd at 9:45 p.m.
So It Was Rain came out, and then they did to him what they're doing to Benny now, which is you went to commercial, and then he, the rest of his discography was kind of like up and down, but he had like some amazing works.
Right.
I liken this to what they did to LeBron, where they deemed him the chosen one. And then everything that came after that, it was like no matter how many championships he would win, no matter what stats he got, like it just was not going to live up to the expectations and the hype. I think that Nas, as far as an MC's MC, is the chosen one.
Is the chosen one.
But it just, because of having labeled him that from the very beginning, the general public was just going to be like, this is not living up to that hype. He didn't have, the commercial success of Hove,
right,
or some other rappers after him, right? He didn't, his discography sometimes falter a bit, but he has some incredible bodies of work. He has a lot of classics under his belt, just like LeBron. Like LeBron, listen, you gonna let me get this off.
I ain't saying a word.
LeBron has his championships, but people still gonna be mad. Like, oh, he didn't win all the championships that he was up for. So, Nas is.
So you saying Nas lost in
is the
6
golden
finals?
child. Nas is the chosen one in terms of lyricism, in terms of being a rapper's rapper. All that other stuff, the critical, the commercial success and all that, that's superfluous.
Superfluous, okay.
Nas is the man.
Talk to me, Dini. Is Nas hip hop's chosen one? Don't think about it, my guy. What is your opinion of this?
I think so.
Okay.
I think bar for bar, I think Nas is the greatest MC to touch a microphone, bro. Like bar for bar.
Wow.
Like line for line.
Gee whiz.
Like I wouldn't say he'd be LeBron. This might be off, but if I had to make LeBron a player, I have to make Nas a player, I'd probably go with Steph, bro. Like when it comes
Steph Curry?
Yeah, in the sense that I can't think of no one who shoots better than Steph Curry. I'm not saying he's the best player to play the game, but at what he does, the art of shooting, nobody does it better, bro. You know what I'm saying?
So Steph Curry is great. So you're saying that Nas is a Steph Curry of hip hop?
If rapping was shooting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people will take that as a shot because a lot of people don't rate Steph that highly.
As far as shooting, who shoots better than Steph, bro?
What do you think about that, Sin?
I said that a few episodes ago.
Okay.
Too, when we was talking
about
like comparing Hove to Nas. It's like, Hove has the whole pack, but if we're talking about just lyricism, we're talking about one topic, right? Just like in basketball, we're talking about who's the best rebounder, who's the best shooter, who's the best passer. You know what I mean? Like if we're just talking about this one lane, this one topic, this one stat, right? Nobody's out rapping Nas.
You know what it is?
Especially not in this prime.
If he is LeBron, he'd be 2020 Finals LeBron, where he'd be the old dude in the game that's still cooking.
Yes.
And then AD would be Hit Boy.
Wow.
And then with that great help, they're winning the ring. You know what I'm saying?
So what you telling me is we coming on a rap roundtable and just dick ride Nas? That's what we doing?
Wow.
That's what we doing?
Who this guy?
No, wow, bro,
Who
that's
this
crazy.
guy?
Well, I'm live in the
this
Facebook
guy?
group, so I can't even do the drops right now.
Boo.
You know what I mean? That's what we doing.
Boo this
You know what I
guy.
mean? I just want the record to show. Let me
Giving
put this
the man
camera
his
on
flowers.
me. I just want the record to show that Jay-Z was in Congress before Nas. So before y'all, this little group here, before y'all get on y'all shit, oh, he's in Congress now. Yeah, Jay was already there, nigga. So once again, Jay-Z is better than Nas.
Did you read that off my phone?
No. At everything.
That's bullshit.
Jay-Z is better
You
than
didn't know
Nas.
that ahead of time.
Yeah, I did. At everything.
Which album?
You think I'm gonna be unprepared for you motherfuckers?
Which
Okay? Listen.
Which album?
The
The Blueprint. You know what I mean? I have a lot of issues with you guys constantly in here telling me that you love Jay-Z, right? But every chance you get, you take these veiled shots at S. Carter. I'm offended.
I didn't take any shots at Carter.
Just you talking is a shot at S. Carter, bro. You know what I mean? He's the chosen one of rap. How? All you Nas fans in these comments who constantly attack me, y'all need to all hop off Esco's dick because the proof is in the pudding. He's an all-time
Listen.
great. Yeah, I'm listening.
All right.
Nigga paused.
He paused mid-word.
Because you about to say some shit. That's why I stopped.
No. So look, here's the thing about Nas. Like when he was deemed the chosen one by the source. Number one, the source is a New York magazine, so you know before everybody starts talking about like the source is biased,
Home of Five Mics.
obviously, you know they lean more towards the New York sound, right? So they deemed Nas the chosen one, right? This came from the lineage of Rakim, right? From like 88 to 94, right? Then from 96 to about 2000, the rap landscape changed. The thing about Nas is that he didn't change with the rap landscape, and that, you know, if you ask certain people that might have heard him in terms of like his commercial success, but you have to understand that like when it comes to like the lineage of somebody like a Rakim, right? Nas is from that lineage, and he you know took that torch and ran with it. And to this day, he's still from that lineage, right?
Okay.
Hove came in 96, and his you know early career was from 96 to 2000, where the landscape completely changed.
Okay.
So it's almost, you're talking about almost two completely different artists because of the landscapes that they came up in.
But chosen one, Sin? He's a LeBron of rap?
Listen, if we're gonna talk about the comparison, neither one of these people, LeBron James or Nas, are going to ever live up to the expectations that were put upon them when they came into the game, right? That's honestly, that's no fault of their own. That's more of a fault of the people and the audience, and the general public. No, in terms of how they see it, Nas is not gonna be seen as the one because he didn't have the commercial success that Jay-Z had. LeBron's not gonna be seen as the GOAT because he doesn't have as many rings as Kobe and Jordan had, and he lost mad finals, right?
It's not just the rings though.
So,
so Dini, I'll keep it a stack. Based on what y'all talking about as far as chosen one goes, I can't necessarily argue with that, right? When you think about how Nas came in the door, see, I'm a fair man. If you think about how Nas came in the door,
yeah, okay.
It's difficult to argue about who came in the door better than him.
Right.
First album, the aesthetic, the first person perspective that we talk about a lot with Benny.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue that Nas is the chosen one. But I guess my problem with Nas is his overall career, which we'll talk about. If he's the chosen one, are you saying that Nas has 4 rings? I'm not sure if Nas has 4 rings. I'm not sure.
If 4 rings would be albums,
Classic
then
albums.
Definitely has 4 rings.
What are the 4 then?
Illmatic.
If Nas is LeBron.
Stillmatic.
Stillmatic is overrated, bro.
Stillmatic is a classic album.
No, it's not, bro. It's not. Stillmatic?
Stillmatic is a classic album.
Based on what?
Stillmatic is a classic album.
That was off the hype, bro. You know that.
Did you listen to the album?
Yes, I was there. It happened.
It's legendary, bro.
Yo, the album Godson is better than Stillmatic, bro.
Godson's a classic too.
So Godson is 5 mics as well as Stillmatic. That's what you're saying?
I'd give Godson 5 mics.
I think you know that's what I said about you 2 episodes ago. You're the fakest whole fan I know.
That's not true.
Really,
How?
honestly, I'd rather you. Matter of fact, right now, I'll put my cup down. Pick a side, Dini. Either you Hove or you Nas.
Nah, that's my 2 favorite rappers.
Nah, you don't get to choose, bro. You don't get to choose.
As far as rap is, okay, you know how they say rapper and then you have artist?
Right.
Hov to me is the better artist. Like, if you ask to me, if they say between Big and Pac, Pac is the better artist. You know what I'm saying? Big is the better
Pac is
rapper.
the better artist than Big.
Big is the better rapper.
I'm gonna need you to leave now. I'm gonna need you to leave now.
Artist?
Pac is the better artist than Big.
Artist?
Got no bars. All right, I'm
Rapper?
not gonna start. I'm not gonna start tonight.
Yo,
I'm not gonna start
here's
tonight.
the-
Pac fans
thing.
that got their guns
No,
loaded.
So here's the thing.
Weapon your hosting
We
your
got a Pac
weapons.
fan in the comments on our Facebook
alright,
group right now.
But we got to look at the word artist because our artists can be the way that people use the word artist is a person, you know, that's in the industry that, you know, in terms of music that makes records, you know, that there's an A&R behind them and they're molding the perfect single and blah blah.
Basically, artist.
Right.
I would think the person who would sell more records.
Right. So like the term artist in that sense has the industry, you know, around it, right? It's in the context of the industry. At its root core, an artist is just somebody that does art. So who does art better?
Well, all right. You know what?
Who makes the better art?
I got the hot take for the round table. If we do it like that, then Nas is a better artist. Quotes.
He makes the better art
than Jay-Z. I'll
Yes.
say that. I'll say
You
that.
say Hov is the better rapper?
Yes. I've been saying that.
You're saying Nas is the better artist?
Nas tells better stories. He does more with his skill set as far as giving you
here's the
worlds.
thing.
He builds worlds with his bars.
Right. He has the thing that Hov lacks. If he lacks anything, it's imagination.
Yeah.
Because
Does he need it though?
Well, he's lived a life that he's been able to, like, you know, construct rhymes out of.
Touché.
For, like, you know, over, you know, 20 years, 25 years. So you could argue that he didn't need to have the imagination if he could just draw from his life, the life that he's lived, at all, you know, at every juncture of his life, right? The drug dealer life, the in the game life, the married life, the adult, you know, billionaire life. He's always been able to pull from that. But Nas has always had this, like, sort of, you know, otherworldly type of imagination where and this is the thing that bothers me, is like people will look down upon that like he's making things up, like he's making up, you know, his life, or he's making up stories. That's what an imagination is supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to just, like, concoct a world and a story, and then, you know, put it to pen and paper.
Hold on.
Make it into songs, make it into raps, make a
So
movie out of it.
you saying that he scribbled in his notepad and created his life?
Wow.
That's what you're saying?
Wow, bro, that's crazy.
What I'm saying is, well, all right. So the created his life part, I would leave that out, right? I'm not saying, you know, because created his life makes it sound like he's just he's saying that he did things that he didn't do, right? What I'm saying though is that, like, a song like "Undying Love," where he tells a story about, you know, him committing a murder suicide, where he accidentally kills his wife and then kills himself. That came from, like, a real place of, you know, of hurt that was inside of him, and he, like, made this song that obviously is fake, is not real. But the imagination that it took for him to make a song like that,
step by step,
it's incredible.
It's a movie, bro. It's literally a rapped movie.
So, you know what I mean? Y'all gotta,
a rap movie.
Y'all really have to, like, you know, stop
Nas
talking
does that.
down on Nas because, you know, but just because he has an imagination, he's able to make raps out of things that didn't actually happen.
We talk down on Nas because some of the music isn't good, and then you Nas fans come on here and say he's the chosen one.
No,
he's the chosen one.
There's
He's
definitely
Obi-Wan.
Listen,
he's not even Obi-Wan. He's Anakin Skywalker. He's LeBron.
One of my best and oldest friends, we had this conversation,
right?
And we were talking about how, you know, Nas's perspective of the hood and hood life is just as important as Hov.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
One dude was outside, the other guy wasn't.
Right, but they're both as important because not everybody was outside. You gotta be able to tell the story
Nas
of the
is for
guy
the kids?
that was.
That's what you're saying?
What was that?
Nas is a stoop kid? He was for the stoop kids?
Yeah, if that's what it was, then that's what it was. But there's nothing wrong with that. what I'm saying is that like if somebody wasn't fully in the mix, maybe his best friend was in the mix, maybe the cousin was in the mix, whatever. Maybe Ill Will was in the mix. We know he was in the mix, but
I'm starting to feel like Nas. Nah, let me chill out.
But speak the truth, bro.
I'm not. I'm gonna chill.
But the
I'm gonna be a good guy.
The perspective of that young man that didn't want to go down that road. We was just talking about this earlier. Not everybody has to go down that road. That's the perspective that Nas told. These are the things that I've seen. I didn't necessarily go down these roads.
But he glorified some of the stuff.
Well, I mean, it was late 90s. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
basically, I was out there putting in work. I'm like,
he wasn't putting in no work.
He had to do. He went down the mafioso road
because Jay-Z told me.
And then, but then he pulled back on that. He pulled back on that.
Yeah,
though.
he put a kufi on.
The kufi was really honestly. The kufi was always there.
The bars were there.
I'll be honest about this. For a few years,
Sin is annoying me right now.
He was trying to be somebody that he wasn't.
Okay,
I'll be real about that. From like 97, 98 to about 2000.
Cowboy hat Nas.
Right. It wasn't him, but he was like, you know what? What am I doing? Let me go back to
being a guy who couldn't find himself because he didn't know who he was, but I digress.
Yeah.
Listen.
But he found himself, though.
The Hov and Nas discussion is coming. We giving y'all little crumbs every episode because it's going to be one full episode of this. We kind of building it up. Each episode, we sneak it in. Yes, Nas was the chosen one. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, I got my doubts. We'll expand upon that when the day is right.
Maybe?
Say that again?
Reasonable doubts, maybe?
Reasonable doubts indeed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I want to talk about fake hip-hop fans.
Yes.
Kind of stemming from, I would say, even the Nas discussion, how they jumped off.
Yeah.
From Illmatic to It Was Written. Same with Jay-Z from Reasonable to Volume 1. Even to Benny as he progresses. You said something really poignant on the last episode about people not being fans of the artist, but they are fans of the aesthetic.
Right. That was in the YouTube clip. Go check us out.
Go check it out. You see what we doing here,
Shameless.
right? We are sending you to YouTube. Do you think, just for the sake of balance, do you think it really is fake hip hop fans, or is it just people who have a specific preference in?
I think there's a certain amount of disingenuousness, if that's a word. Like there's definitely a lot of people that will say that they're hip hop fans, but then when you ask them, like, oh, who do you listen to today? I don't listen to nobody. Everybody's whack. The only dope music came out in the 90s, or the only dope music came out in the 80s, or
That's
whatever.
not accurate,
right? So there's those fans, and I don't really call them real. I don't call them hip hop fans, like, because they only really like one era of hip hop, right? There's a certain amount of evolution that you should be able to accept, right? But in terms of like, this also kind of stems from the verses that just happened with Ray and Ghost. There's a lot of people that will say that they're fans of real hip hop, and they'll even say, yo, the 90s was the best era, but then some, like a Ray and Ghost versus event happens, and it doesn't touch the numbers of like some of the versus events that have happened
not even
recently.
500,000.
You know what I mean? So it's like, where y'all at, right? If y'all talk about like y'all real hip hop fans and the shit is fake now, it's like the real shit was in the 90s, but then you have an event that showcases like one of if not the best duos in hip hop, in the history of hip hop, that came right out of the 90s, out of Wu-Tang Clan, and y'all still not watching. Like, there's a lot of fake fans out there, bro.
What do you think, Dini?
First of all, I just want to say that was on a Saturday and at 8 o'clock. I think it was a nice night that night. So that didn't help. That did not help. I just want to let that be known. I did tap in and get a little bit of it though. I got maybe like 10 minutes in from being in my little step out. But I think it was great for hip hop. As far as the fake hip hop fans, it's. I was thinking about it like this. Let's say you like Jordan 1s, right? Mm-hmm. And you only like Jordan 1s.
Right now.
There you go. Shout it backwards. If you have 100 pairs of Jordan 1s, right? Are you a sneaker head or are you a Jordan head?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Or just a Jordan 1 head.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
You're still a sneakerhead essentially because even though you're just dabbling into that one realm of sneakers, that's it's hard when I say that. All I have to say is hard to say that because a person who loves 90s hip hop can hate 2020s hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Does that take away them being a hip hop fan though?
But here's the thing. It's like it's hard to draw the line somewhere because I would probably fit into
a 90s head.
A 90s head.
Yeah.
But and there's definitely a certain aesthetic that I look for. In the way I've always explained it is like there has to be some type of lineage or some type of connection line that's drawn to the essence of hip hop, right?
Yeah.
And if you like step too far outside of that, then then maybe it's not hip hop.
I have to hit you with this.
But
thing. By that logic, me and Jarva are way bigger hip hop fans than you because we listen to a whole bunch of other shit outside of 90s shit.
Let's talk about it.
Wow, bro.
That's crazy.
But
because you are linear as fuck.
But no, that's not true.
Come on.
That's not true. There's a lot of people out there that call themselves hip hop fans and hate Kanye West. And it's like,
come on, son.
What? What's wrong? What
does that have to do with you being linear?
Because I love Kanye West.
Oh, okay, all right. That's fair. But Dini's right. We love hip hop more than you do, bro.
Yeah,
we love the whole thing.
That's false.
We love the whole thing.
That's what I'm saying. By your logic,
regionally. Nationwide,
that's false.
Even me, I'm listening to grime right now. I'm listening to all of it.
Trap. That's false.
How is it false?
That is patently false.
Mathematically, it's fact.
You hate Southern hip hop.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
What are you talking about?
You like T.I.?
Yes, you do.
Whoa. You gonna
Luda had a good run.
You don't fuck with Southern hip hop.
I don't love it all, but there's certain acts I like.
Ah, okay. Like
Jeezy?
Who? Like who?
Jeezy, T.I.,
Gooch.
Way before I realized he had a ghostwriter, I was rocking with it. I was there.
Oh, were you?
Yes,
he
I
wasn't
was.
a fraud?
I didn't know he was a fraud at first. I didn't know.
When he was making the singy-songy records, like
I liked 8-Ball and MJG a little bit. I liked the little 3-6. I dibbled and dabbled. Schoolboy's out west. I fuck with him heavy. Come on, son. Big Sean in Detroit. Come on, son.
No, let's not talk about Detroit. Let's not talk about Detroit.
You like East Coast boom bap rap. That's it.
Rap.
That's all you
With
want.
the exception of Primo in Texas.
Yeah, we're attacking you right now, nigga.
Let's go, son.
All you want is East Coast boom bap.
That's not true.
That's not true?
No.
Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole excluded.
That West Coast funk, that West Coast bounce, Timberland,
Blue
from down south, Organized Noise, Outkast, Dungeon Family. Come on, man. Don't do me like that.
But if I go on your phone right now,
don't do me like that.
It is 90% boom bappery, bro. 90%.
Honestly, on my phone, my phone is in shambles. Because this is another conversation we need to have. I hate the streaming era because I feel like I've lost control over what the shit in my phone. I'm always adding new shit, and then all the old shit gets lost in the mix.
You gotta make playlists, bro.
Yeah, but I want to go back.
Just go straight to the search box.
Not for nothing.
I know, but I just want to go back to what it was with my iPod, where I had my library, my songs, my album.
I won't even lie to y'all, fellas. I just figured out that I've been barely using my Apple Music right this whole time. They put out so much music that I never y'all. You know how y'all put links in the group chat? Mm-hmm. The music that y'all put in the group chat be on Apple Music the whole time. They'll have their own specific playlist with new records that come out weekly and they update it. And I haven't been using that shit until maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Don't shame me, guys. I just download music. But now I realize that I'm not using my Apple Music right. There's live radio that I'm not streaming. Mm-hmm. There's so much access to things that I didn't know about.
Musical sections where you can just tap and just go straight to a playlist
didn't know
of that music. I just realized that a little bit.
Y'all didn't peep the other day I was in a group chat sending y'all mad music because I was realizing I haven't been using this right at all the whole time. So every song I found, I was sending it to y'all, even though y'all don't like grime. You don't like grime. You don't like grime, but I like grime.
Yeah, I like New York grime.
I don't know. I agree with Sin about the fake fans, though. I feel like kind of what we spoke about with the Benny thing. Fans only want... There's the fans who are going to... The diehards. They're going to stay with you from the beginning to the end. But they're the fans that only like you when you're an underdog, or they make a kind of music that they can bop to. And I feel like there's more fake fans than true fans in hip hop right now. People jump ship as soon as you decide to deviate from what they like about you. And I don't like that. I feel like back in the day, like fans used to stick with artists throughout every process. Like there's fans like myself who rock with Jay from Reasonable Doubt all the way through till now. 444, even if I didn't like 444, I'm still here. Same with Nas. Like now everything is about a wave. Is it because of the microwave culture, Dini, that there are more fake fans, or is it something else?
I think it's we just want what we want from you.
Oh, okay.
Like if you're a sports guy, if I need a 3-point shooter and you was a 3-point shooter, now you morphed your game to a big man. You know what I'm saying? You might be an amazing big man now, but I wanted a 3-point shooter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm chucking you. That's where we are today. And the more popular people get, the more they change up their sound and try to get a bigger audience. The more the old fans are kind of chuckling. So you got to keep constantly getting new fans. You know what I'm saying? The people who love you going to stick with you from the jump.
It's just about like the instant gratification that internet culture has cultivated.
Right.
We want it now.
You want what you want, and you want it now. And if you're not gonna give it to me, somebody else is gonna give it to me.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Like when Nas had, the from 98 to 2000, right? I was like, damn, Nostradamus. Ugh.
So what you would say, were you part of the fans who kind of got a little funny with Nas?
No, I didn't get. No, I was just like, it's looking shaky for him. I don't know what's gonna happen. But like, it was the 90s. You weren't coming out with like a project every other month.
True.
You knew you had to wait a while for the next album to come
cultivate.
Simple.
out. Right. And so you just had to kind of stick it out and see what the next move was gonna be. I remember it looked shaky for him, and when Takeover came out, I was like, but then he did the job.
How did you really? Matter of fact, don't answer that. We're gonna talk about that when the time is right.
Yes.
Sin, this is the part of the episode, not necessarily alarm, but R.I.P. to Phife Dawg. Can you speak to that for us real quick?
So yeah, we just had the 5th anniversary of the passing of Phife Dawg from A Tribe Called Quest. Just a staple in hip hop. One of the artists that I feel that don't get their just due in terms of his presence, his charisma, the way he would start off his verses.
Attack a record.
Right. Everybody, when we think of A Tribe Called Quest, obviously we always think of like Q-Tip as sort of the front man, the Renaissance man. And because he was also a producer, but Phife, them Tribe records would not have the flavor that they had if it was not for Phife.
Because Phife he brought a whole different type of energy to those Tribe records.
Yes, Phife, he always set off a verse in the right way, in the perfect way. And like I feel like we have these conversations amongst ourselves and in Twitter and the hip hop community about like what MC comes to mind in terms of like setting off a record, setting off a verse, like opening bars. We talk about Prodigy.
Yep.
We talk about some other artists. A lot of people will talk about Inspector Deck with the I bomb atomically, Socrates for that. But Phife with Bo knows this, Bo knows that, but Bo don't know. Like you can't hear those words and not immediately recite them word for word, right? I like him brown, yellow, Puerto Rican. Like that's just those opening bars. You already know, you're in there. Like he just like puts you in that pocket. And you're
represented the culture at its apex,
right? And you're just in it for the whole rest of the record. You're like you're there. You're locked in. Yeah, man. Shout out to Phife. RP to Phife. Also, just one personal anecdote. The best, my absolute favorite show that I ever went to was a Phife show at the Knitting Factory in Brooklyn. Not the second Knitting Factory, because there was 2 knitting factories. Yeah. The second Knitting Factory in Brooklyn, back in 2010. Yeah, somewhere in the area. And it was a benefit show for awareness and diabetes awareness and a fundraiser. Phife was the guest of honor. The energy that night, I was just like, honestly, I was blessed to be in the audience that night because Tribe got back together to perform. It was Jay Electronica at his height with, Exhibit A and Exhibit C. KRS-One was there, Black Star was there, Most Definitely Talib
It was
Kweli.
a very hip-hop night.
It was all, I was in my element. Shout out to Phife, RIP to Phife. One of the greatest people in hip hop ever.
I was gonna ask Zini if he had anything to add to that, but Sin kind of covered it.
Bo knows this.
Yeah.
Bo knows that.
Well, Bo don't know Jack because Bo
Bo
can't
can't
rap. Let's talk about it. Now we have reached the part of the episode where Sin is already here. He's on his porch. You know what I'm saying? I gotta look at my board because the board is all over the place. But generally speaking, while Sin is outside, we need you to get the hell off his
Lawn
lawn.
vibes.
So yeah, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit this month. This lawn goes out. This lawn segment goes out to people whose lawns are a little too big.
Oh boy.
We already touched on it. I didn't think we were gonna touch on this topic as much as we did in this episode. But some of you fans out there are to use your words, Deanie, are a little too rigid in what you will and will not listen to out of certain artists, right? We talked about it with Benny. There's history with this, with going back to like Big Daddy Kane, Nas, Big Hove, certain members of the Wu-Tang Clan, just all types of artists over the years. Kanye West. It's just like, y'all only want one thing out of a particular artist. Now, when if we're talking about preference, definitely you can have your own preference, but like to be mad at an artist, to experiment, to look to other collaborators, look to other producers, look to other artists to feature with, right? You got to let them, just expand their wings and do their thing, man. I have a lawn. I kick people off my lawn all the time, but I feel like my lawn is not as big as some other lawns that are out there. Y'all lawns is way too big that y'all constantly kicking people off left and right. As soon as they switch up just a smidge, right? It's like, that person, I'm not listening to him no more. I'm not a fan no more. He switched up his style, whatever, right? Tighten your lawn a little bit, right? Trim those hedges a little bit. Pull it back a little bit, right? Get off my lawn because your lawn is infringing on my lawn. Your lawn is now, it's too big. It's coming into my lawn. So y'all got to get off my lawn with your big ass lawn. Fuck out of here.
Respectfully.
Get the fuck out of here.
And also. Get off my lawn. Deanie, take us home, bro.
Yo, y'all know what it is, man. The Rap Roundtable on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, fucking Instagram, your mother's house. It's everywhere. Sincere the Rap Snob on the beats. Jarv with the gray area, always on deck, tap in. Deanie Man talking reckless. We out.
Yes, sir.